but he ain't little. He can't float, but he can run though. That's why he a libero. He's 6'2", from the hood, so writing his saga straight out of Moraga.
He's so smooth, he got the swag, but he got issues. He got it from his dad. He number 6. For us, he's number 1. Just want to say, congratulations, son.
It is the honor of my life. The senior of all seniors, Uncle Pat, the president and CEO of Rainbow Warrior Roofing Company, the 6'10" middle blocker from Clovis, California, Patrick Gassman!
Colton Cowell, number 24.
6'1" from Makawao, Maui.
Let's go, Bows.
Let's go, Bows.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Bulgaria standing 6'9", Rado Parapunov.
The Hawaii staff student assistant, senior James Anastasiades. Volunteer assistant Chad Giesman. Assistant coach Joshua Walker. Associate coach Milan Zarkovic. Head coach for your Rainbow Warriors, Charlie Wade.
And with that, we welcome you inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy next to Lisa Strand. Lisa, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
And for the Anteaters tonight, they need to limit their service errors. Last night, they had an abundance 24 errors, and they all came at critical times. For University of Hawaii, it's time to put a roof on it. It's time. They were outblocked last night, but they are under their average of 2.96. Let's light up that Manoa Roofing Company.
Gotta love the introduction, special variety on senior night. You had family members who assisted in introducing the members of the senior class who will be celebrated tonight symbolically, because there's still plenty of work to be done, especially when Hawaii hosts the Big West Conference Tournament next week. But a good start there as Hawaii, behind Rado Parapunov's swing, strikes first. Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup. Scrolling at the bottom of your screen, you will notice Chaz Galloway, who was not here last night, out sick, back and in the starting rotation for Hawaii. Jakob Tella with the serve. And outside it goes to Alexandre Sakanda, and there's the roofing company making an appearance. You gotta love Pat Gassman was introduced as the CEO of the Manua Roofing Company, and he was in on that one along with Parapunov.
Well, he's earned that title, I'd have to tell you, after 6 years and the numbers that he has put up. Definitely the CEO of the Manoa Roofing Company.
At least the foreman, right? Here's Tella. 2 serving 0. Some good energy you can feel from the Hawaii side of the net here to start. Sakanda's blocked back. Great cover there, layout style by Gillis. Cole Gillis, who was really good last night, 12 kills for Irvine. Colton Cowell gets that one scooped up along the back line by Gillis. Sakanda against a double block. The dig there by Galloway. Here's Cowell again, a little off the pin, so couldn't get everything into it. Pinballed around and returned. Free chance here for Hawaii. Gage Worsley sets up Rado off the fingertips of the block, punched up in the air by Joel Schneidmiller, and another free opportunity coming for Hawaii. Back row set. It's Galloway, dug up by A.J. Faley, and how about this rally? And it ironically comes to an end on a BK bump kill dropped between Cowell and Worsley.
And I think that this is exactly how tonight is going to go. Long rallies, these teams just battling right back where they left off last night.
David Niffen, 9th season atop this UC Irvine program. They are unranked in the latest AVCA poll. First time unranked since the final 2 weeks of the 2016 season. But we saw last night this team is capable of competing at an extremely high level. Sakanda, the southpaw swing, goes off the Hawaii block and down. And just like that, we are tied at 2. Charlie Wade on the other side had nothing but very high compliments to pay to the Anteaters after that effort last night. He says this is a team that could go deep into the tournament next week, and heck, if they were to somehow get into the national tournament, he feels like they would have a chance to get deep into that one as well.
Rightfully so.
Gassman able to get all over that swing from the back row. Hawaii now on the attack. It's Gassman laying the wood. Uncle Pat had a night last night, 9 kills, hit .583. He was eating big time, and right here, he gets served up another spoonful.
That play made possible by Gage Worthley, just running along, making a perfect pass.
So here's Cowell on the jump serve. Took a little something off. 60 miles an hour on that delivery. Sakanda through the Hawaii block and down. And that was something that we saw throughout the match last night. The Hawaii block, which has a reputation that precedes itself, right? It was not as effective throughout against the Irvine hitters. And Charlie Wade saying they just had 3 or 4 guys at any given time out there on the floor that could bring the heat. And it was just tough to deal with as Pat Gassman brings some of his own heat offensively and puts Hawaii up 1.
And what's great about that last play is if Hawaii continues to take care of that first ball, in other words, pass it on task, Pat Gassman, they can run the middle, and he is connecting so well with Tella right now.
Coming into this match, hitting .500 overall for the season. Entered the week second in the NCAA in kill percentage. And how about that? He can also score from the service line. Deals an ace out of the deck, and Hawaii's up 2.
Patrick Gassman's mom, Jean, is here in the islands, I'm sure, sitting home somewhere along the islands watching her son. I'm sure very proud.
See the service ace numbers. That was number 12 on the year. 5 serving 3. First touch there by Gillis. Middle set goes to Scott Static. Layout save Cowell. Galloway up the elevator, and he sends it home.
I don't think he was that sick, because that is an amazing leap hop, almost zero approach on that ball, and he sneaks it inside the 7-foot extended arms of Scott Static.
He's feeling better. That's one thing we can be sure of. 6 serving 3 now. Gassman going down the far sideline, and that's in there for an ace. 4 straight points for the Rainbow Warriors.
And Patrick Gassman tying up Rado Parapunov with 13 aces on the season.
And a timeout for the Anteaters. Hawaii firing early. Welcome back. The Jack Fact. Let's take a look. Not only did UC Irvine push Hawaii to the brink last night, but they're thinking what might have been. They had a kill and block advantage over the Warriors. But they also had 8 more service errors compared to the Bows. And so the net sum of all that, a 3-point advantage that Hawaii ultimately utilized to win in 5 sets.
That's some serious numbers. So close.
Also a serious stuff there by Guilherme Voss, the freshman middle from Rio de Janeiro, and this service run continues for Pat Gassman. Gillis goes off the block. Irvine still with it. Gillis a second time by the block, tried to go line, missed wide, and Hawaii has opened up a 6-point advantage here. They have scored 6 in a row.
And what you're going to notice is Hawaii is a lot more efficient right now on their blocking. They're doing a low and tight at the net, not necessarily stuff blocking, but putting a lot of pressure on the Anteaters to work around the block.
9 serving 3. Can Uncle Pat keep the pressure on? He does. That was a laser Schneidmiller the first touch. Gillis over a triple block, dug up to the net by Gassman, joust at the net, and it is Galloway winning the battle.
Galloway sneaking over, seeing the over dig by Patrick Gassman, who's in the middle back position. Galloway just getting up and over.
Yeah, it was actually Gillis who was first to that ball, but Galloway in the right spot was able to redirect it. You see the numbers he's put together here in what is technically his second freshman campaign. Backside set, Seconda rising up, dug up over the net by Gassman. Playing like a libero along that back line. Seconda a second time, diving save by Tella. Here's Galloway blocked back, the cover by Rado. Tella has to bump set it high for Potapunov. The block is up, rattled around and returned. Another long sequence outside. Gillis blasted long. Was there a touch? Yes, there was. And so a point for Irvine, and they finally end that rainbow run.
And again, Patrick Gassman doing an excellent job, not only from the service line, but playing some unbelievable defense as well as Jakob Tella there. Little confusion on that set. Rado, not a great approach to that ball.
Here is the serve from Seconda. First touch there, Galloway. Rado against the double block. Good guardianship of the back line there by Schneidmiller, but then the roof was up as Guilherme Voss was able to get the gist of that one.
Voss at 6'7", so long and lean, getting out there really nice and low and tight to the net.
Played for the Brazilian national team from 2016 to 2019, and one thing that Charlie Wade has said about Voss going all the way back to those international days, he says, when I watched him play in person, he just touched everything. You see Francesco Sani on the floor for Irvine as the block was up again, but this time tooled accordingly. And Sani able to get the point for Irvine.
Sani, a 6'8" freshman, had a great night last night for his team as well, tooling the block on that last play.
And Brian Garcia splitting time at the setter position with the freshman Dylan Jai. Cowell from the back row blocked back. Goes over the net to Irvine's side. Static with the bump set. Schneidmiller blocked. It pinballs around and finds its way out of play for a Hawaii point.
And again, Hawaii's momentum really works well when they're blocking well. It seems to change the whole dynamic and the energy on the team.
Already 5 blocks as a squad for Hawaii compared to 0 for Irvine.
Exactly, and that was their total last night, 5 blocks.
And how about the ace, Chaz Galloway? That is already the 3rd service ace of this opening frame for Hawaii. They had 5 of those for the entirety of the match last night. Also, no service errors just yet from either side. The ultimate bocce notification from the announcer.
Yeah, let's hold your breath.
13 serving 5. Outside, Schneidmiller able to rip it off the Hawaii blocking out.
Schneidmiller just comes to the table with so much heat, leading his team last night with 20 kills. He knows Hawaii's block is on, and he's just going to go harder and harder. 3-time All-American.
Yeah, he was fantastic last night. 20 kills, hit 500, had a pair of blocks. Really carrying the load for Irvine as they work their way back into the match after losing the first 2 sets. And there's a little offense from Voss.
We're seeing that a little bit more often with Voss. He's going behind Jakob Tella, and that seems to be a really nice connection for the two of them.
So Hawaii clicking right now. 14 serving 6 here in set 1. Voss floats it across. Schneidmiller gets it on the outside, rolls it over the double block, layout save Galloway. High and away it goes to Cowell. Up the ladder is dug up in the back row by Gillis, and then a little joust at the net. Schneidmiller first to it and is able to ricochet it off of Tella.
And not a great set, but that's what they call bettering the ball. He got there, not a good set, couldn't get a swing on it, and just his experience and knowledge says, I'm just going to use the outside hands of Jakob Tella.
So 7 serving 14 and a big-time uphill battle for Irvine to try to get back into this one. But this guy can score from the line. That's Sani. Alas, he sends it long. He was regularly hitting 70 miles per hour plus on the radar gun last night. But it is Hawaii first to 15 on senior night.
Rainbow Warrior Volleyball on Spectrum Sports is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back. This is the Hanaho rematch, Hawaii and Irvine. Last night it went 5. Hawaii was able to take it 15-13 in the 5th. It was really a fantastic match to watch with a lot of twists and turns. But right now, it has been all Hawaii in this opening frame. A great serve by Tella. Somehow Irvine able to forge a return, but now Hawaii on the attack, and it's Rado with a single blocker on the opposite side of the net, and forget about it.
And just the way he likes it, if he's got one blocker up on him, he's going to go all out.
Rado Parapunov, who last night took over sole possession of 10th place in the career kills department at the University of Hawaii. How about the overpass forced by the teleserve? Rado couldn't crack it down. Cowell from the outside, he does.
There's just so many options right now for Jakob Tella, with the passing being very spot on. He's got so many hitters to select from. He's got Colton Cal out there on the left. He's got Chaz Galloway in the pipe. He's got Patrick Gassman in the middle. And he's got Rado Parapunov. And he's got himself.
Already 5 players have recorded at least 1 kill for Hawaii, hitting .368 as a team. Irvine, .042. They have 6 hitting errors. But Sani is able to work the block to his advantage.
And on that note, Irvine had a season high last night, hitting at .417. They had a spectacular offensive night last night.
And here is Davis Lau, 5'7" sophomore out of Punahou. Had a season high 8 digs in the season opener against Hawaii, which took place in California as the Schneidmiller serve goes into the net. And it was great to hear what David Niffen had to say about Davis Lau and his presence on the team. He says, hey, look, I'm at risk of sounding naive in utilizing some of these terms, but I really do believe that Davis brings a certain sense of ohana to our program. And he says, what a benefit and a luxury that is for us to have in California. He says it's a great thing.
Yeah, he really likes having Davis Lau on the team, and he's contributed so much, just in such good energy, a 2-time state champ at Punahou. Small, a little undersized, but I'll tell you, every time I've ever watched this young man play, he makes things happen.
His dad, Alan, played volleyball at UC Santa Barbara back in the day. Sister played at Dartmouth. Here is Rado, who's able to poke it through the block and down. And Hawaii off and running here. They have distanced themselves now a double-digit advantage here in the first. And this has been a Hawaii onslaught really from the get-go.
It really has. And I think that's what this team was recognizing, is that last night they were a little frustrated with their performance and really felt like at this point in the season they should be further along.
Gassman. Good serve again. Sani the first touch. Static just kind of wiped it across. Galloway from off the net is able to go off the block and out. And Chaz Galloway has brought a certain energy to the floor here after his absence last night.
He definitely has. He completes this team. I think they're most comfortable with him on the court. You can sense a different of the energy. But that last play, Pat Gassman just, again, coming up with a great set from the middle back.
High toss. Another fantastic serve. Great pass, though. Static in the middle, blocked back by Voss. Now a little scramble play. Lau has to set up Sani, and he is denied. The block was up. Not sure if that even got over the tape. However, either way you slice it, it's a Hawaii point, and that prompts a UC Irvine timeout.
And the feeling is so different than last night, where they teeter-tottered and seesawed back and forth. Even in the first few games, Irvine was the first one to 15, I think, in the first 3 sets. Hawaii really pulling away. Already
a block party going on here on senior night in set number 1. 5 total team blocks for the Rainbow Warriors in this one.
They're staying put. They're very disciplined. They know their assignments. It's pretty obvious. I'm sure that they went back and looked at film, came in and did some serve and pass. And these seniors, they've been together so long, they know what they need to do.
Yeah, and Pat Gassman, who has served the ball so well here so far in first set, and obviously he is the focal point of that blocking scheme. And it was really great hearing some of the guys talking about each other here in advance of senior weekend. And Gage Worsley, who played youth volleyball, club volleyball with Pat Gassman, says, I remember him when he was like 11 years old, and he had like this anger problem, like this anger management issue. And he says over the course of time, it's been kind of wonderful to see in this monstrous human being that Pat Gassman has developed into this focus of some of that otherwise described as anger from within.
Yeah, well, he's grown up, and that's the other side of it. He came to Hawaii and established himself here put down some roots. He's been working as an engineer this past year, really growing up, and he just loves giving back. He's offered his services, volunteers with the Special Olympics and whatnot, so definitely changed.
Yeah, definitely good to see. Make the dream of education a reality for our student athletes. Visit hawaiiathletics.com. Click on the donate button in the Ahahui Koa Nui Nui banner. In fact, they also had a nickname for Pat Gassman back in those days. They would call him the Eye of Sauron. That is all right, this is a geek check here for everybody. That is a Lord of the Rings reference, the Eye of Sauron, the big tower that is featured in that movie trilogy. And yeah, Pat Gassman, obviously he towers above everybody and has been doing so for many years.
And oftentimes he was asked if he played football because of his size.
I could see that too. Sonny dug up by Cowell. Look at the chase down by Gassman. And he's able to keep this sequence alive. He's putting in work back there. Gillis blocked and roofed. Voss and Parapunov saying, oh, no, you don't.
I think all cylinders are spinning right now. Pat on the run down in the middle back. He took a look, made sure the coast was clear when he went to run that ball down. And Rado getting the energy bunny going.
22 serving 9. Gassman, another heavy-handed serve. And the block getting a good chunk that time on the Gillis swing, but this time it winds up out of play. Yeah, there is a distinct difference in the body language on either side of the net right now.
Yeah, and again, the longer these 6 play together, and yes, you have different people coming in and out, they're more just in tune with one another.
Back set goes to Rado, and he goes off of the dome of Scott Static and out for what is his 4th kill, still error-free here in this first frame.
Last night we saw so many players get hit in the head and the noggin. They were either blocked on it or cranked away. It was a little scary. It was almost like this sport might start needing some helmets.
Hey, that's not an awful idea with how hard these guys are hitting it nowadays. 23 serving 10. Overpass. Tella with the swing, but he is blocked by Static. Well, you got to respect the chutzpah of Jakob Tella there on that attempt, but the 7-foot reach of Scott Static, too much to overcome.
I don't think he actually saw Static there at the net blocking in that position.
Gillis on the serve, another stick-em pass by Cowell, and Voss just tears into it. And it's aloha ball in the first for the Rainbow Warriors.
Voss is so quick and so wiry. It's hard to read him, actually, because he's got such a whip of an arm swing.
And it is Chaz Galloway to serve. For what, you're hitting 417 in this first stanza. Outside, Schneidmiller tools the block. So it remains aloha ball, and UC Irvine.
And Irvine, knowing that they have to take care of that first ball, all they're really trying to do right now is create a little bit of momentum heading into this next set.
Pass by Worsley. Tella on 2. Good dig in the back row there by Gillis. Some pitter-patter above the tape. Tella again on the second touch. Couldn't get it down. On the right side, that is Sani. And Irvine gets the point, 13 serving 24. Jakob Tella very aggressive here in the last few moments.
He's working for a kill. He's like, all right, it's my turn. He's had 3 attempts, but he has not had a kill yet.
Well, it wasn't a flawless stream of connections from the setter position last night, but Jakob Tella otherwise played pretty darn well. 56 assists, had 3 kills, 2 aces, as the block is up against Rado, and Irvine staying alive. And as you mentioned, Lisa, maybe most importantly, building some momentum for set number 2, as Patrick Vorenkamp was in on that stuff.
And this is where sometimes you get a little complacent in a sense of you have such a huge lead. Just one side out is all they need right now.
Pass by Worsley, high and away. It goes to Cowell, blocked. He's able to play it off of the twine. Rado sends it over. And they're going to call a double hit against Hawaii. And so it's a point for Irvine. A little surge here. 4 straight scored by the Anteaters.
A little frustration there by Charlie Wade.
Static to bring it. Pass Worsley, puts it on the spot, behind the head, set to Voss, sends it long, no touch, and Irvine being very stingy here for this final point for the Warriors.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Jakob Tella goes to the BIC right now. He's used all his front row players, and they've had unforced errors consistently, and I think that's why sometimes he goes to that second contact when he feels like, hey, I'm going to take this upon myself. He gets a little frustrated maybe.
16 serving 24. Galloway with the first touch. Cross court set goes to Cowell, goes over the top of the block, sends it long, no touch. And you see Irvine within 7, and that forces Charlie Wade to call a timeout. It was 24-11 just moments ago, and Irvine making Hawaii really earn it here for this final digit.
And that's the frustration part, I think, for Hawaii, is that they're passing well, but those unforced errors, if it's 22 all, that's game over. And so this is where Coach Charlie Wade, I'm of course talking to Jakob Tella there, trying to encourage him on set location or where to go right now. Slowing the momentum down, just trying to get his players to focus in and finish this first set.
Yeah, I think that's something that must feel somewhat unfamiliar for Charlie Wade, right? He figures, hey, look, we have several guys out there who, when we just need 1 point, we can rely on to be terminal in this situation. That hasn't quite been the case here for this final effort.
Exactly, and he's just wanting them to end it, obviously, and Niffin on the other side is saying, hey, just keep this momentum going. We're just starting to get our wheels a-turning here.
Well, ILH volleyball continues next week as the Marinal boys take on Punahou, and then the Les Jardins girls face Punahou. Tune in Tuesday at 5 p.m. only on Spectrum XCast channels 17 and 1017. There is a former Punahou volleyball player right there, Davis Lau, who was able to get some action. Always very cool to see some of the local boys coming home.
It really is. And Davis Lau's dad, Alan Lau, was a setter at UC Santa Barbara, and he's been very instrumental in helping to create the Hawaii Combine here in the state of Hawaii, where it helps local athletes get scholarships on the mainland. So the family's incredibly involved in the game, and I'm sure that they're at home. Carol and Alan at home watching, and probably Sister Julia as well. I think that's the hardest part, is that knowing the fans would be here to support, you know, fill the stand.
Yeah, I mean, you think about what usually is that fragrant aroma of flowers and lei that are due to be distributed at the end of each senior night match, and we're absent of that, at least for the most part. Here is the high set to Cowell out of the timeout, dug up by Static. Still a little ball for Hawaii. Schneidmiller off of one leg. Tried to get too precise down the line with it. Missed the court wide. And it is a point for Hawaii. So finally, that opening frame comes to a close. A bit anticlimactic from the Rainbow Warriors' vantage point, but they'll take it. Up 1-0 in the match. The first Hawaiian Bank top 3. We're looking at NCAA hitting percentage. Hawaii tops in the land coming into tonight, 372. And then BYU and Lewis behind them in the number 2 and 3 spot. A couple of programs perennially always looking to be a factor at this time of year, especially with the NCAA championships set to be played May 6th through 8th in Columbus, Ohio. All right, so we take a look at the Big West men's volleyball standings. These are updated with the other matches that concluded earlier tonight. As you take a look at UC Irvine, they are one better in the but CSUN, based on point accumulation, would actually own the tiebreaker, and so that would put UC Irvine in the bottom spot seeding-wise for the tournament next week, which means it would be Irvine versus Long Beach State in the quarterfinal or opening round. You see on the other side, UC San Diego is the 4 seed. And so if Irvine loses, they would face CSUN. UC Santa Barbara is the 2 seed. Hawaii is the 1 seed. They have the opening round byes. But imagine that, obviously, it's Big West volleyball. So any match on any given night is something that can be extremely entertaining. But Irvine Long Beach State in the opening round would be something to behold.
It sure would. And it's just part of the game, I guess you could say.
But Irvine has other plans we should make sure we add, because they want to win this match and finish with a higher seed than CSUN, and they strike first here in set number 2.
Seconda with a beautiful block there on that first play.
It is Gillis to serve. Back set goes to Cowell, dug up over the net, played with 2 hands by Worsley. Tella goes middle to Gassman. A one-hand save there by Jai. Irvine still with it now on their side. Seconda is blocked. Diving save on the cover by Cowell. Here's Rado from the outside. Actually hits the line judge, wants a touch. And there is no touch called.
And Charlie,
we may get a Charlie challenge.
It is a Charlie challenge. He jumped up immediately and was looking for that as well. The joy of the challenge. You get 3 of them during a match, and usually they slow things down quite a bit. Oftentimes not just used for challenges, but for potential timeouts.
Officiating crew, by the way, the R1, top of the ladder, Tom Saunders. Wayne Lee is the R2. He'll be looking at the replay here. And the line judges Mark Nakashima and Randy Rubinall. Can you see the touch? And there looks to be a touch right there, that left hand of Vorenkamp. And one of the giveaways is you see Vorenkamp making a fist with that left hand almost in response to getting the touch.
Yeah, it looks like Vorenkamp may have gotten a little piece of that. We will see.
We will see. I mean, we have seen things a certain way before and have been contradicted. So, hey, what do you know? We got one.
That's right. And Charlie gets to wave that paddle high.
Yeah, that was a shrewd challenge last night, by the way, if you remember that point in set number 4 where Joel Schneidmiller basically played like 6 rotations in a row in the front row, and instead of being able to go back to the point where they first contradicted what should have been the appropriate rotation as Rado sends it long. That's something you can do in international play. You can't do that in the college game. And so Charlie, with a very shrewd challenge of the play prior to the discovery of that violation, and it showed Schneidmiller hitting in front of the 3-meter line, and so it was a back row attacker violation. Hawaii got the point. They were still down 4 at the time as that serve goes long, but it kind of helped to wake the Hawaii side of the net up a little bit at that juncture of the match.
It really did, and Rado Parapunov was adamant. It was like he caught it and he knew exactly what was going on, and he kept going up to the ref and asking. And even Coach Niffen agreed with it. He said, "You're right. We were out of sorts." He didn't want to fight it. You know, he's like, "Yeah, sorry about that. We got a little confused."
Which makes you wonder why you had to go through the formality of the challenge at all. But in the end, it worked in Hawaii's favor when they won the match.
Exactly. Had they lost, it might have went back and watched a lot of video.
That's right. Gassman into the twine. Just the second service error for Hawaii so far here in this one.
And Gassman.
So this is a look at the Vorenkamp serve prior to the Gassman serve into the net, and that one ruled out, but that may have been worthy of a challenge. Here's Galloway up in the stratosphere and just annihilating that set. My goodness.
We're talking kaboom. 4th kill in 6 attempts. Pretty scary. He just elevates. He takes it to another level.
That is some beastly bounce exhibited by Chaz Galloway, the 6'3" Frosh from San Diego, California.
That's the critical part that you just said. A freshman.
Pretty scary.
Unbelievable.
He gets a piece of that Schneidmiller swing. Tella on 2 is able to plug it through the Francesco Sani block attempt. And Tella gets his kill.
He got it. He's in. He's in the numbers game right now. It's in the kill column. Hawaii with 14 kills as a team right now. Hitting in this current set at 125, a little below their normal.
Rado with the serve, and he sends it long. So a point for Irvine. That one was pretty close as well. Rado Panapunov, we mentioned, into that number 10 spot, surpassed Dejan Milutinovic for career kills at Hawaii. If he keeps this pace, there is a strong likelihood that he'll be able to catch or at least get awfully close to the guy in the number 9 spot, and that's Siki Zarkovic. Here's Rado, and there's a kaboom as well through the block and out.
The lefty just swinging away. Rocket Rado again attacking, going high off the hand, the noggin, I believe, again of Scott Static.
It'll be interesting if he does surpass Siki, the son of Milan Zarkovic, associate coach of this Hawaii team, and the guy who first communicated with Rado Panapunov and sort of planted the seed for him to maybe bring his talents out to the islands to play college volleyball. That's where it started, and then Charlie Wade was able to actually in person go and see Rado and talk with him, and next thing you know, Panapunov was going to go down as one of the best ever, fulfilling that destiny.
And kudos to Milan Zarkovic for opening that door for him. You think about the change in his life by coming to Hawaii and playing here.
And that one hit the pin off of the dig attempt, and so that is a kill for Voss. But you're right. I mean, Panapunov talks about, hey, look, I got my college degree. I'm continuing my higher education. Not to mention, he's established himself as one of the great volleyball talents in the country.
He really has. And Coach Charlie Wade talks about him saying he's just come in, he's become a better person the whole way around. Not just an athlete, but a person in the classroom, appreciating the culture, respecting, volunteering his time here and there, doing things. He's missing his family. He hasn't been home in a very, very long time.
That's right.
He's made a huge commitment to this program.
Gillis getting the kill there for Irvine. Yeah, he says that's one of the first things. He says when this season does come to a close, and we are hoping that it doesn't come to an end until the very last night, and hopefully in celebratory fashion. He said one of the first things he's going to do is he's going to go home, because he hasn't been home to Bulgaria, as you mentioned, since early 2019.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and he's got this, he considers his team his family, but truly, that first family is critical.
Colton Kawa with another smash kill, 7 serving 6. Here's Tello. Set to Rado, and right on cue, he heard us talking about him. Panapunov delivers. He's got 7 kills.
And Irvine is saying that Hawaii contacted the ball 4 times. I'm not sure if this is challengeable, but Coach Kniffen might actually take a challenge on this.
No, he was below the net when he touched the dump. When he dumped,
immediately Garcia was audibleizing, hey, that's 4 contacts after the block. Hawaii played 3 more contacts.
Joel Schneidmiller, the floor captain for Irvine, pleading his case to Tom Saunders, and he's going to call Wayne Lee over. They're going to discuss this.
And Tom Saunders had that situation last night, and I thought he handled it very well. He just said, hey, we're moving on. You got 5 seconds. Yes, they are a touch. And so you can see Garcia going back, and he's raising his hand, trying to get the attention, saying that's 4. That's 4 hits.
Yeah, so that's going to be the debate is, does that first touch by Rado count as a block touch attempt, in which case Hawaii would be able to play at the natural 3 touches. If that isn't determined to be a block attempt by Panapunov, who was, I believe, flat-footed on the floor, so that might factor in, then that would be a 4-hit violation.
But seriously, it probably was a standing block. I mean, it's considered a block, 2 hands up. Otherwise, what else is that contact? It's not a spike, it's not a dig, it's not a pass.
We haven't quite settled the deal just yet. And I wonder if this is one of those situations where it's going to require a formal challenge from David Kniffen for the officials to take the appropriate look at this.
Yeah, Niffin's asking his players, "Do you guys want me to challenge this? You know, do I pick up the paddle or not?" And, you know, Jakob Tella is holding on to that ball like, you're not getting this from me. It's our serve. Usually during the challenges, the balls go out to the sides, right?
It's pretty amazing. This is now 3 straight matches in this arena that we've had on Spectrum Sports where we've had pretty long delays because of official discussions, and not just debates with the coaches, but debates with one another, these long drawn-out conferences.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, it's too long. It changes the momentum. I think it's almost like a delay of game, if you will. Players get cold, start wondering, maybe that's how Schneidmiller got messed up. Where am I? You know, some of these challenges. Forget where you are on the court.
Yeah, well, it looks like they will play on. 8 serving 6. So the kill counts for Rado. Tella with the serve. Hawaii up 2. Back row set goes to Schneidmiller. And he was looking to unload some frustration, it looked like, after that long argument with Tom Saunders. But he sends it long, and Hawaii up 3.
And he's a gamer. He really turned things around for his team last night. You know, they're going to set him probably 8 out of 10 balls, literally. If somebody's going to pick up their team, it's going to be him.
Irvine hitting .068 right now for the match. High ball goes to Sani in the back row, and forget about it. That triple block for Hawaii was able to eclipse the sun. You had Cowell, Gassman, and Rado.
They're up there, but that ball was called out. It's a huge block.
Off the block and out, and here is Irvine now 7 serving 9. Tella outside, and Rado rights the ship.
And Hawaii climbing the ladder in their hitting percentage earlier, not so high, but right now they're in this current set hitting at .385. The lefty going over the block.
8 kills for Patapunov. Here's Cowell. Passed by Faley. D-set goes to Sani. One-hand save Worsley, but we're going to have a whistle against Hawaii. Looked like a net violation.
That was a beautiful one-handed dig by Gage Worsley, just sitting in down that line. That's why he was voted 2-time All-American and Eric Soji Defensive Libero Award of the Year.
Yeah, had 11 digs last night, yet another double-digit dig performance to add to Worsley's career collection as Patapunov goes through the block and down. His personality is one that is so unique and so original, and he brings such a lightheartedness yet intensity to this program.
He really does. He's a character, and at the same time, he's incredibly hard on himself. He works hard. He's hungry. And I think that's really why he's moving on after this year. He's put in his 4 years, and he really wants to go play professional volleyball.
Yeah, scheduled to graduate in May. Nice play, by the way, there by Brian Garcia, dumping it over. 9 serving 11 now. Tella high and away to Callaway. He went way up there into the skies. Unable to put it down, though. Schneidmiller readjusting the approach and was able to work it down past the save efforts of Jakob Tella.
Schneidmiller doing a good job readjusting that approach. He came in for a quicker tempo set, but he slowed it down, and again, he's got so much power behind his hit.
Cowell puts the pass on the money, middle set, and it is Voss. And Voss gets kill number 4.
I really like that Jakob Tella is including the middles more as this season has progressed. He's continued to involve them, and they're not being as predictable because Rado Parapunov does carry such a huge load on this team, and Colton Cowell.
Pops straight up in the air. 2 blockers up against Schneidmiller, and he's able to put it down. Yeah, Patapunov, last night's match, you could argue, was one of the greatest exhibitions and examples as to why he is so good, because it didn't look like it was his night. 3 kills through the first 2 sets, hitting negative numbers for the most part, and then all of a sudden we got maximum Rado the rest of the way, including in the 5th where he had 9 kills without an error. I mean, it was just awe-inspiring what he was able to do in kicking it up several levels throughout the match.
Can't agree more, and that's exactly what players like Rado do. If they're down, they don't stay down. They somehow do that U-turn, and he did a major U-turn, self-corrected himself, and he was unhappy. He went into the huddle and said, "This is not okay. I cannot play like this."
Yeah, he had some interesting comments after the match as Galloway serves it over. High and away it goes to Gillis, and he pumps it long. Potapunov said, "Hey, look, this program invested a lot in me." And it was a very expansive, kind of almost philosophical line of thinking for Rado in the moment, probably thinking from the vantage point of it's senior weekend. But he said, "Hey, look, everyone's made quite the investment in me. I need to take it upon myself to pay that back." And he was talking about his play on the floor, and he was saying that some of the thought process in a match like that where he knows he's not playing his best volleyball, but that's what motivates him to pick it up.
And that's the culture that they've built here when you really think about it. The bottom line is they're used to having 10,000 people here and having the energy behind him, and he appreciates that. He wants to do this. It's not about him. It's about the team and the state of Hawaii. It's about the University of Hawaii and what they've come to do, and that's why these seniors all return to finish this out. It also shows the maturity level.
Yeah, very thoughtful, I think, from a guy who, has been around a little bit, but still, for a guy in the heat of battle to have that kind of perspective, I think that's something pretty remarkable as Hawaii gets to 15 first in the second. Shoreline and into Waimanu Valley during a Friday the 13th full moon on Everything Hawaii. Sunday night at 7:30 exclusively on Spectrum OC16. Well, Hawaii hitting a fat 429 here in this second set. Irvine not too shabby either, 353 on the Anteaters side. It is 15 serving 12. Hawaii up 1-0. And Guilherme Voss to slap it over. Backside set, it goes to Sani. And that was hard and heavy right in the direction of Chaz Galloway.
And Sani, the freshman, with his 8th kill on the evening, leading all of the Anteaters right now in kills.
Yeah, hitting 636. Took something off the serve. Worsley had to lay out for the pass, and then Galloway from the back row. There's that big set that Galloway and Cowell seem to be so proficient at.
Yeah, he really comes in quickly, and it's incredibly explosive. And for the defense on the opposing side, it's hard for them to read that play.
5 kills for Galloway. No errors just yet. 16 serving 13. Here it comes from Tella. Forces the overpass. In fact, it's an ace. Jakob Tella, who has some action on his serves. I mean, really has some movement coming off of that southpaw palm.
He definitely makes things happen from this end line. Whenever he's back here, this is a great rotation for Hawaii. The lefty just swinging away. He serves from that middle, and it's hard to read.
Outside, Sakanda. And that goes off the block and out.
Sakanda using the block. Out of Canada. Another lefty on the team. I'll tell you, these lefties are not a dime a dozen, and when you do get them on your team, they are bread and butter, if you ask me. They're hard to read. They're just a unique style of play.
Oh, Gassman is stuffed. Solo style by Patrick Vorenkamp. The setter turned middle hitter here for UC Irvine this season. Was able to read that one perfectly.
And Vorenkamp was really quiet last night. He's coming off of a leg injury, just getting back into the system here. Quiet, but doing a nice job in the middle, slowing balls down.
Yeah, did have 4 total blocks, including a solo. Gets another solo right there. But the service error gives it right back to the Rainbow Warriors, and here's Colton Cowell. Great piece on Colton and the Game On portion of the broadcast about his work ethic. And that one is bounced along that back row by Cole Gillis.
And Colton Cowell, back to him, the Mamba mentality that you talked about earlier in the season, really just constantly trying to improve and be better every time he steps foot on the court.
You saw his parents participating in that introduction. Mom Christina, Dad Cody, and from the looks of Pops Cody, the guns run in the family, right?
I think so, definitely. And I know that he has two sisters as well, and one plays volleyball on the mainland.
Yeah, that's right. Chandler plays both beach and indoor for St. Mary's.
Collegiately, yes. That's a little town or little college right where Gage Worsley is from, that same area.
That's right, Moraga, California. Here is Jackson Van Eckeren. He's from Naperville, Illinois. He is going to be honored with the senior group at the conclusion of this match. A reserve setter for Hawaii coming in to serve, but Sakanda making it a quick rotation for the Rainbow Warriors. Sakanda was good last night. 13 kills, hit .391, had 5 digs.
Yeah, they had a very balanced attack last night. 4 players in double kill figures, Sakanda being one of them.
Good to see Van Eckeren getting an opportunity to see some time here tonight. Galloway up on boosters, off the block, played by Schneidmiller. Sakanda took something off, 2-hand save there by Cowell. Backside set to Rado off the fingertips of the block. So Irvine plays it back. It's Faley setting up Schneidmiller, blocked and roofed. Parapunov got the gist of that one, jumping next to Guilherme Voss.
And Rado Parapunov feeling it right now. He's setting up that block so nicely. He's what they call the post blocker. He sees where the set goes. Voss coming out, closing the door.
And that is the first block of this second set for Hawaii.
Rado serving a little long, getting a little anxious on that one. His last serve was 69 miles per hour, recorded as.
Schneidmiller. Pass by Worsley. Outside it goes to Galloway, rising high. Just seems to float up there for a while and sees the floor so well.
He really does. This COVID time has actually been a benefit to him in a very strange way. He has improved so much during this time off, and he's encompassed his role on this team with the more experienced players.
And here he is to serve, 21 serving 18. Middle set static, blocked back by Voss. Now they go outside. Gillis took something off. Cowell pops it up in the air. Tella, high ball to Rado. 2 blockers against him. Played over the net. Cowell with the big swing. Drops the hammer.
And Colton Cowell finishing it on that play. But Jakob Tella scrambling around on that play to set the ball. He does this beautiful back set to Rado Parapunov. And Colton Cowell definitely over a smaller block.
So a timeout. We'll take one as well. Hawaii by 4. Welcome back, set 2. Hawaii up 4 out of the timeout. It is Chaz Galloway sending it over. High ball goes outside to Gillis, and he cracks it long. Didn't get a good contact on that one. It sailed on him. A 3-point run here for the Rainbow Warriors, and they open up their largest lead of this second frame.
And Chaz Galloway doing a nice job from the service line, putting a little pressure. Notice that Hawaii really goes after Irvine's libero, A.J. Faley.
Faley responds that time. Sakanda, the touch shot right there is Worsley to sniff it out. And Tella on 2, off the block and out. Point for Hawaii. And it is aloha ball here in the second frame.
Hawaii doing the little things well right now, not making unforced errors at critical times.
And they're not as proficient in the blocking department in the second set, but they're hitting .467 as a squad, are the Rainbows. Now serving for set 2. Bump set goes to Gillis. Tough angle. Two-hand save. Cowell. And is that going to be an interference call? Yes, it will be. Static reaching over, according to Tom Saunders. Hard to fight the temptation when you're 7 feet tall, I guess, but that gives Hawaii point number 25. And they take the second, 25-18. And so on senior night, Hawaii will have an opportunity to crack open the broom closet.
Intermission here at the Stan Sheriff Center on senior night as Hawaii is taking on the Anteaters of UC Irvine. So far, so good for the Bows, up 2 sets to none. Rado Parapunov leading the way with 11 kills. Set number 3 coming up next right here on Spectrum Sports.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Hawaii up 2 sets to none. 25-17 in the first, 25-18 in the second. What do the numbers spell out for you, Lisa?
Well, immediately you look at the kill percentage. Hawaii just way out, up in front. I think that's been one of the biggest differences so far. Blocks, only 1 block in set 2 for Hawaii, but they are on task with their blocks, out digging, and both teams with 4 service errors. Hawaii with 4 aces, Irvine with 0.
A pretty good ratio, service aces to errors for Hawaii. And Pat Gassman kind of got him in the groove, right? He set a certain tone, was serving tough, but serving consistent, hitting spots. And that kind of got Hawaii rolling a little bit in that first set.
He really did. You know, he brought some good energy from the backcourt, but especially from the service line. Here you take a look at Chaz Galloway doing the same thing. Hawaii coach Charlie Wade says if we're serving 90% in, we're winning 100% of the time. They've really focused on being a good, efficient serving team.
Yeah, Pat Gassman, 13 service attempts, 2 aces. And Hawaii out on the floor, still awaiting UC Irvine's return to the Terraflex.
They're definitely not anywhere in our sight.
Well, this is somewhat peculiar. I mean, usually with these abbreviated intermissions between sets 2 and 3, the teams come back out in a hurry. And I believe everyone is pretty aware of the fact that this stage of the season that there aren't very long breaks between sets 2 and 3. And finally, here is the UC Irvine team making it back out of the tunnel.
That's interesting. They're walking kind of slowly, too. It's not like they're hustling back out here. Hawaii's already on the court in their positions, ready for the lineup check.
Good look there at David Niffin. Became the second coach in NCAA history to win a national title in his first year on the job. That was in 2013. After succeeding Jim McLaughlin, spent 5 seasons as a UC Irvine assistant under John Spraw.
Yeah, he was a setter. He's actually a graduate of UC Irvine and was actually a setter, and then actually coached a little women's volleyball, University of Illinois. And his assistant, Erin Johnson, was a player for him actually in Illinois. And he brought her over, and this is her second season with the team. There you take a look at Erin. She also played professional volleyball, but missing from that team, it's just one of those things we got to say is Coach Mark Prescio.
That's right, yep.
16 years as assistant coach. Mark Prescio, an All-American from University of Hawaii, played volleyball here.
Yep, second in the career kills list. We're talking about Rado climbing the charts, but Mark Prescio is number 2 behind Kostas Theoharides. There have been some great ones, right? I mean, Kostas Theoharides, Mark Prescio, Clay Stanley, Yuval Kotz.
There's a lot of them.
That's right.
Amazing. Just to be in that realm is huge.
So a yellow card has been issued to Irvine for the delay in coming out of the locker room. And Colton Cowell adding a little insult to injury, if you will, after the yellow card by firing one down. And Hawaii strikes first in the third. That was a bit odd. I have not seen that before, with the team taking that long to come back out onto the floor.
And you wouldn't expect that from Coach David Niffin. I don't think it was purposeful. I don't think he's that type of coach to do that, but maybe he needed a little extra time to talk with his team.
There's going to be a mishandle called against Jai. Yeah, that would be what I would assume. I don't think he's making any kind of statement on behalf of the team. I think maybe he was taking that time to challenge his players, or needed just a little bit more of a comprehensive layout of the land to present to his team before coming out for set 3. But there is the yellow card that was issued moments ago. 3 blockers up against Sakanda, and he knocks it long, and it sort of appears like Irvine's a little out of whack here to start this 3rd set.
They really are, and they've had so many different lineup changes this season due to a couple of injuries here and there, but they don't seem to be in sync communicating. Just the looks on their face, the energy they came out of the tunnel with really didn't show a lot of like, hey, we're here, we're back in this match.
Side set, that's Schneidmiller. And he goes off the Cowell block attempt and out.
Joel Schneidmiller with his 6th kill in 15 attempts.
Remember, UC Irvine is staying here in the islands throughout the week in preparation of next week's Big West Conference tournament. They know they will be playing the first night. Just depends on the result of this match as to who exactly they will play. Great save there by Faley. Gillis tried to get precise with it and sent it long. Point for Hawaii.
And these are those unforced errors that Irvine cannot afford. They're hitting in the negatives right now, but some great defense by Faley. Reading that off of Colton Cowell's roll shot, comes flying across. Great opportunity, but hit long.
Faley only playing in his 3rd match. He made his season debut on UC Irvine's senior night a couple of weeks ago, and this was a guy who led the team in digs last year, just under 2 digs per set, but he is the true definition of the student athlete. The student is capitalized for sure, because he graduated in 3 years, is currently in grad school, and so the class load, I think, is really the thing that's obstructed his ability to be on the floor more consistency.
Absolutely, and then Irvine, during that time when he wasn't on the court, went through numerous other liberos, including Cole Gillis, who was playing libero the last 5 matches, and then last night played as an outside hitter and did a phenomenal job for the team.
So 5 serving 2. Here's Gassman. Another good serve. Backside, Sakanda able to drive it to that deep corner.
Sakanda, that lefty coming out of that right side with his 5th kill.
So an interesting scenario that presents itself really for both teams. We'll talk about Irvine. They're going to stay here, as mentioned, throughout the week, and so they'll have a little bit of that advantage of just getting a little bit more acclimated to the environment, to the atmosphere. They'll have the recency of playing in this building the previous weekend, and so they have that going for them. For Hawaii, they're going to be making that transition from here's the senior night celebration, and a non-traditional one at that, but then they have more matches to be played in this building. Do you see that as something that is good for this team, to kind of get this senior night stuff out of the way, so to speak?
Definitely. I think they really want to just take care of the senior night festivities. They're, of course, disappointed. They'd love to have fans in the stands. Who won it? But get that off the plate so they can go focus on the Big West Conference. They're hosting, obviously, all 6 teams coming to Hawaii, playing on their home court. They have been on a mission. This team has unfinished business. They know it. They want to get into their peaking. They know where they want to be. They want to be in Ohio come May 6th, 7th, right?
That's right.
And Irvine, you know, this is a huge trip for them. 10 days here bonding. This is exactly what Coach wanted. Not exactly how the team's playing right now, but they have not had an opportunity to truly be a team on a road trip and bond and create those relationships and trust.
How about back-to-back aces for Rado Patapunov? It's all smiles right now on the Hawaii side. They're up 8-3. Timeout, Irvine in the 3rd. High school softball kicks off this week. Tuesday, catch Kalani and Moanalua at 6:15 p.m. Then tune in Wednesday at 4:45 as Punahou takes on Marino only on Spectrum OC 16. Hawaii up 2-0 here on senior night against UC Irvine, and Rado Patapunov already 2 straight aces, almost got a 3rd in a row. Hawaii plays it back, and it's Voss. It works just as good as Hawaii gets the point, and they're off and running here in the third.
Rado is completely in system, in the zone. He's firing away from that back line. He's got 15 service aces on the year. Another substitution coming in. Sesko Sani coming back in the game, and Davis Lau as well.
Parapunov, another fantastic serve. And how about another ace? Rado, he's smelling it, right? He's smelling the conclusion of this one, possibly, if they can close it out in the third and proceeding with the senior celebration. This is a guy who will be celebrated for years to come as one of the best. It was a very obvious comparison, right? A left-handed hitter with all kinds of power and talent, so the comparisons were going to happen, and it was going to conjure up the name of Yuval Kotz as Rado delivers a fourth ace in this service run. Where would you put Rado Parapunov, in your opinion, in the pantheon of Hawaii greats?
Well, he's way up there. It's frightening from when he came in to where he's at now. He's at a different level, that is definitely for sure. But that serve right there, he could have actually concussed Schneidmiller on that ball. He just pegged him, but he's a 6-round rotation player.
4 aces in this run alone. Joining live action, and Rado Parapunov has just dealt ace number 5 out of the deck. And so we are going to recognize that as the King Windward Nissan cool play. So his career high in a match is 5 for service aces. He has 5 aces on this service run. And Hawaii's up 12-3. My goodness. And Sani finally able to bring the run to an end as he goes off the block and out. But Rado Parapunov was on some kind of mission from the service line.
A little intense back there from the service line. They got faster and harder as he went.
5 service aces against Lincoln Memorial back in February of 2019. He has tied that here in this set alone. And we got a whistle. And we're going to have a back row violation against Hawaii. Rado Parapunov, the floor captain, will take on the responsibilities to communicate with Tom Saunders.
Directing traffic.
A lot of palms pointed upward on the Hawaii side. And they're going to replay the point.
Yeah, a quick whistle on that play. Schneidmiller questioning the call as well, wondering why it has been reversed into a replay.
So they'll do it up again. 4 serving 12. And Francesco Sani will do the honors. 63-mile-an-hour serve. Back row, it goes to Cowell, cracks into it at the net. Galloway couldn't put it down. Tella feigns as though he was going to take a swing and instead sets up Rado for the smash.
A little action, a little acting action going on that play by Jakob Tella, where he jumps, looks like he's going to swing and hit, but he sets it instead to who else but Rocket Rado. 13 kills, hitting at .435 right now.
13 serving 4. Galloway sends it over. Sakanda tried to go deep corner, missed the floor wide. And look at the score right now here in the third.
Hawaii just really putting so much pressure on the Anteaters, just beginning from the service line.
14 serving 4. High and away it goes to Schneidmiller, blocked by Voss, and that will go down as a roof. Voss all over that one, jumping up next to Tella. Hawaii gets to 15 first, and this third set to this point, pretty lopsided in favor of the Rainbow Warriors.
And really the key now is if Hawaii can sustain this. Here we take a quick replay. Look at Voss, just low and tight over the net. Jakob Tella setting that up as well. Hawaii doing a much better on their blocking schematics tonight.
Well, this is a senior class that will be celebrated at the end of this match. And this is a senior class, as we alluded to last night, that adopted the mission, right, to pack the stand, right, back in the previous years. Don't you miss those days when fans could come into the arena? And boy, did they accomplish that with a level of success that we hadn't really seen in this men's program for many years. It had been a while, but the memories of a full house against Long Beach State in the Big West Championship, a full house in the last match, as it would be last year against BYU. This is a senior class that took that mission upon themselves and also took on the mission to try to compete for a national title, which right now they sit in the top spot of the rankings. And thanks to guys like this, Rado Parapunov, it's a senior class that will have a legacy that is emboldened for years to come.
It really has, and looking at these highlights of Rado, they have created their own culture. They have took it upon themselves to fill the stand, to get involved in the community. When the stand, Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff was full, you had fans cheering, the wave going, you had the aunties with the signs, all kinds of things happening.
Well, coming up on It's a Hawaii Thing, Brooke and Lanai talk with Eric E. Panda Hernandez, the brother and session tour drummer for Bruno Mars. Monday night at 6:30, exclusively on Spectrum OC16. Yeah, it'll be a group that will be sorely missed. The good news is this is just a symbolic allure. They'll have more matches to play next week, hopefully, as you take a look at Kai. That's Gage Worsley's dog.
It is Gage Worsley's dog, Australian Shepherd.
Outside, Schneidmiller off the block and out. Actually short for Mackay, but I mean, that is one of the best cutouts in the arena. With all due respect, I mean, the dog's wearing a t-shirt.
I'm sure that Gage, and I'm positive that Joe Worsley is watching, as well as Christine and Roger Worsley, his mom and dad. But I'm sure that they love seeing that dog in the stands.
There's Cowell off the block and out. Hawaii rolling right now here in this third set.
And Hawaii just really in sync again tonight, working very smoothly, not letting little things. They have limited their unforced errors. Early on in the match, they had a few of them going, but they've taken off and really created a lot of separation.
Outside, Schneidmiller through the block. How about the up there by Galloway? Bump set Rado to Cowell from off the net, but he didn't get it above the tape. And so a point for Irvine.
Irvine noticing their numbers, looking at their numbers, their middle attackers have really not contributed to their offense at all tonight. This current set, they're hitting at 0%. I'm not sure. I know that Connor Campbell, the other middle, played. He's a 6'7" freshman. 7 other matches this year when Vanderkamp was out, Vorenkamp, but he has not been in the match tonight at all.
Here is Dylan Jai, freshman setter with the serve. Two-hand pass there, Cowell. Middle set, Gassman. And Pat Gassman with his 4th kill.
Gassman making it look easy. Uncle Pat.
Channeling those anger issues here at this stage of his life.
The CEO.
That's right, the CEO of the Manoa Roofing Company. Great dig there by Gage. But we're going to have a net violation call against Hawaii. It looks as though Uncle Pat disagrees.
He's looking at him like, who net?
Oh, maybe at the bottom there.
On the way down,
on the landing may have been Cowell, as that's an ace. Off the palm of Schneidmiller, and Colton Cowell, who was closest to it, is waving his index finger saying, no, that was not in. And I think that will be enough of a reaction to prompt Charlie Wade to challenge the in-out call on what would be a Schneidmiller ace.
Yeah, let's see how long this challenge takes to review it. Steinmiller is convinced that it was in. He pointed in, and Colton Cowell is convinced that it wasn't. So much of this is a little bit of acting, and then a little bit of the angle where you're sitting at. You know, where do you see it from?
So Wayne Lee putting on the headset. Let's see. This is a pretty good angle that we're getting off the bat. And what say you, Lisa Strand?
Oh, yay. Can we Hana-ho that one? Let's see it again. Oh, we're talking like millimeters. Y'all could tell it's a great location. You're going right after where the setter is releasing.
Well, they're actually playing the replays above on the big screen, so the players are all staring up, and the Hawaii players are sort of celebrating because they're assuming that that was an out ball, but it doesn't matter what they think. It matters what Wayne Lee thinks.
That's right, and when the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff is full, they do not do that.
That's right. That's right. Then we become the most popular people in the arena because we have the monitors in front of us and all the players come crowding around us. And Wayne Lee says that it was out. And so another successful Charlie challenge.
He's 2 for 2.
And it is 18 serving 7. Colton Cowell with the run up and then took a little something off. Outside, it is Sani. And that looked, from this perspective, to maybe be an out ball. It was called in, and Charlie Wayne might go ahead and challenge that in-out call.
He may. But it looks like the call, it was challenged.
Yeah, so it was ruled in by the line judge. And Wayne Lee putting back on the headset.
And that's his 3rd challenge, and it did look like it went long from our angle.
In real time, which, you know, we sometimes happens a little fast for our eyes to be able to process, but right there, that looks like an out ball based on that angle. Lisa, do you agree?
I definitely agree. And you know, these lines are what, about, the tape is about 2 inches. Maybe if it was 4, it would be in, but not, I think that was long.
So if this angle assists in any way.
See, if this was beach volleyball, you'd see the line jump, and then you would know,
Sure.
in or out.
I mean, so easy for us by virtue of the replay, right, with the benefit of the slow motion replays to be able to determine in and out. When you're the line judge and, you know, I mean, these balls are flying 70, 80 miles an hour at times, and you have to make that call on the spot. That's a difficult proposition for anybody. So we do not begrudge the line judges for any of their initial rulings, but I think that is what is good about the replay and review system, even though maybe the argument can be made that sometimes it takes a little too long. I think we have seen more often than not the right call ultimately made.
It's definitely a benefit to the game, and the good news is you only get so many challenges, so you can't really abuse it.
How about that serve by Cowell? And that is out. So an ace for Colton Cowell, and almost a sarcastic sort of pointing in the direction and applause for the line judge, saying, hey, you got that one, buddy.
And that was close, and he ripped that ball. Davis Lau got behind it, but I'll tell you what, that one right there was 70 miles an hour. The other one in front of it, I think, might have been about 72.
Well, if Hawaii serves as precisely and effectively as they have in this match, and if the block is awakened, at least to the degree of what we've seen here for the most part here in this match, this is going to be an awfully difficult team to beat here over the course of the next couple of weeks as Pat Gassman is able to get another kill to his stat line.
And that's because they have 10 service aces in this match so far. 5 of those, thank you, Rado Parapunov.
Yeah, about 10 service aces to 6 service errors. You'll take that ratio every time.
Definitely.
The 8.5 total team blocks, even though it's cooled off a little in that department in the last couple of sets. still setting a tone, certainly, and impacting some of those Irvine swings throughout the match. Here's Sani, block out of touch. And those work sometimes just as good as a roof, right? Because it leads to that. Colton Cowell rappelling from the ceiling and ripping it off the block and out. Take your internet with you. Spectrum Internet customers get free unlimited access to over 4,000 Wi-Fi hotspots across the islands. Well, the hottest spot has been on the Hawaii side of the net, as they are up 22-8 right now. The up by Tella, but it is ultimately a kill for Patrick Bornkamp. So next week, the Big West Conference Tournament, we will have all of those matches for you here on Spectrum Sports. Hawaii will be the top seed. They already have locked up, coming into this weekend, the regular season crown outright in the Big West. And so they will, after tonight, a little celebration of the seniors. Don't forget to stick around for the postgame, because we will have that for you, as well as some reaction from our crew. In fact, one of our broadcast team members, James Anastasiadis, will be participating in the senior night festivities. But after that, Hawaii will then transition into focusing on next week, and it should be a lot of fun.
And I guarantee you they're going to need a little downtime as well, because these have been very intense matchups these last couple of nights.
Here's Patapunov, 5 aces already. All coming in this third set, by the way. Unable to conjure up a save there on the Sakanda swing. Now, we mentioned it's a little different, obviously, with no fans, and there's not going to be as much of a floral decor, although we were told that there was a lay drop-off that was set up at the arena earlier this afternoon. So there was an accepting of, if there were any fans or certainly family members that wanted to drop off lay, they were accepting them here at the arena earlier in the afternoon.
That's right, and at 2 o'clock they accepted them, and that's a nice gesture, because especially for the people that really, the families that are here, and the friends and aunties and uncles, and just people that want so badly to recognize and acknowledge senior night.
I don't know exactly how the distribution of those lays will go, but we will find out as Schneidmiller rolls it down the line. They're going to say that there was a touch, so a point for UC Irvine. It's 12 serving 23, and there's some of the lei and flowers that were delivered earlier today that will be doled out. So they'll have a bit of a look of a traditional senior night. I think that's going to be really cool.
I think it's going to be great for the guys, and I think too that they're just so happy that they're playing. That's, I really think, the bottom line.
No kidding. Here's Tella. Back row. Cowell lays the smackdown.
You know, this group is like a huggy group, but they have worked so hard, and he completely unloads on that ball from the backcourt. And the crowd and the UH players are going crazy.
The Haleakala Hammer bringing it. Aloha ball on senior night, and Galloway serves it long. Aloha ball, it remains, however. 13 serving 24 coming up. One of the great senior classes that will come through this program.
They've been around a while.
Two-hand pass there, Galloway. Outside, it goes to Cowell. Off the block and out. And this one is Powell. Fittingly, it ends on a senior kill. And Hawaii pulls it off against UC Irvine on the final night of the regular season. E kahi e lua aloha. 25-17, 25-18, and 25-13.
And I think that's exactly what they wanted. They knew what they're capable of. They wanted to perform at the best level possible going into the Big West Conference, going into potentially the NCAA tournament.
Well, Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Francesco Sani, 9 kills, hit .467. He has a bright future in front of him, that's for sure. Scary for the rest of the Big West. And on the Hawaii side, the senior class, James Anastasiadis, Colton Cowell, Pat Gassman, Rado Parapunov, Jackson Van Ekeren, and Gage Worsley. We will give way to the post-game show. They will have the senior night coverage, the introduction of this senior class. So without further ado, we'll send it away. But for now, Lisa, I think you're sticking around. So I guess just for myself, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, aloha from Manoa.
This is the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
And back inside the Simplify Arena Stan Sheriff Center, where Hawaii sweeps over at UC Irvine, including a 25-13 set number 3 victory. Now it's time to celebrate the 6 seniors. We throw it over to public address announcer Ben Kia'aina.
Tonight, we proudly recognize a senior class who has helped turn Rainbow Warrior Volleyball into national title contenders. These 6 seniors have been part of 2 NCAA tournaments, the program's first ever conference tournament championship, and the school's first outright regular season title, including countless memorable victories. Our first senior came to the program in 2015, and this year returned to serve as a student assistant and an analyst for the Spectrum Sports television broadcast. In 4 seasons as a Rainbow Warrior, he appeared in 69 career matches, mainly as a serving specialist, where he totaled 11 aces during the 2020 season. He was primarily a backup outside hitter who had a career-high 7 kills against Lincoln Memorial in 2019. He has a bachelor's degree in kinesiology and rehabilitation science and is working on his master's degree in athletic training. Out of Huntington Beach, California, please show your aloha for student assistant James Anastasiadis.
See a nice shot of James walking out through the tunnel there. And of course, James played a significant role on this team as an outside hitter and as a serving specialist, coming off the bench with some crucial serves during his career, a clutch player, and glad to have him as a member of our crew as well.
Hi, James. It's Mom and Dad. We just wanted to do a little video and hopefully we won't cry. Anyway, we're so proud of you. We can't believe that it's been 5.5 years already. It's just crazy. I remember bringing you to school, and now we're here at the end. And it's just been an amazing journey.
Hi, James. Just want to tell you I'm really proud of you. You have definitely instilled on what being a very hard worker is, and what it's like trying to do what's right. And words can't express how much I love you, how proud I am of you, and how much I look forward to see all the amazing things that you're going to do in the years to come. This is only the beginning. Love you very much.
We love
Mom
you.
and Dad.
Our next senior arrived in the 50th state in 2016 by way of Naperville, Illinois. After redshirting in 2017, he went on to appear in 22 career matches as a backup setter. We saw his most action against Lincoln Memorial in 2019 with 16 assists in 1 set played. He has already graduated with a bachelor's degree in finance and is on track to earn his master's of science in finance. Volleyball fans, let's hear it for the 6'6" setter from Naperville, Illinois, number 20, Jackson Van Ekeren.
And Jackson is described by head coach Charlie Waite as a glue guy, someone who does a lot of the behind-the-scenes things to help keep this team together, a leader on and off the court. And when we did see him in matches, he contributed primarily as a serving specialist with that hybrid jump float and jump topspin serve, but also being inserted in some crucial moments for his blocking size as a setter. He will certainly be missed for his contributions, again, both on and off the court.
Hi, Jackson. I don't know where to begin. The last 5 years have gone so fast. We are incredibly proud of the amazing player you are, the outstanding son you are, the amazing teammate, friend, son, brother, everything. We are so proud of everything about you. Your commitment and dedication to everything you do amazes us. It really does. You give 100% of you all the time. And we are so lucky. We are so lucky that you are our son. We are so proud of you and we love you so, so very much.
Jackson, I agree with everything your mom just said. All kidding aside, buddy, listen, we're so proud of the player you are, the teammate you are, the friend you are, and most importantly, the man you've become over these past 5 years. Okay, and we could not be prouder of you. So congratulations on senior night. Good luck the rest of the season to you and your teammates, and go Bows.
Love you.
Love you, buddy.
Our third senior is affectionately known by one name, G Swizzle. He came to the Hawaii volleyball program with USA volleyball credentials and in the footsteps of his All-American brother Joe. He earned Big West All-Freshman Team honors in 2018 and has been an AVCA All-American since. He was twice the recipient of the Eric Shoji Award as the nation's best libero and has started all 62 matches since his sophomore year. This senior will graduate in May with a degree in human development and family studies. Please show your aloha for the 6'2" libero from Moraga, California, number 6, Gage Worsley.
And Gage Worsley coming into the program as one of the highest touted libero in the country coming out of high school, deciding to join his brother Joe here on the court. He came in as Joe's brother and quickly established a name for himself. You heard it, he's been named an All-American and really a leader in the backcourt, helping to take control and lead this team. He leaves as one of the best liberos to ever wear a Hawaii jersey.
Do I got it? Is it on? Oh, okay. All right.
Hello, Gage.
Aloha, Gage.
We told you we would be here.
In fact, here we are. We even brought a guest with us. Come here. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, that's it. You want to say hi as well. Come here. Get up here. Atta boy.
That's a good boy.
That's a good boy. Say hi to Gage. Say hi to Gage. All right. You want to go? Go on.
Gage, it is so hard to believe that it has been 4 years.
You've gone from this
to this.
And now here you are standing there with all your buddies in your final game of the season for you, of the regular season, and we wish nothing but the best for you.
So we would like to say that we are so proud of your accomplishments as a volleyball athlete. We are so proud of your free spirit. We are so proud of your sense of adventure and the energy that you bring to your team and to the court. But the most important thing that we're proud of is how you have represented yourself, your family, the university, and the people of Hawaii.
Now I'd like to add one thing. Really proud of the fact that you stuck it out for 4 years and you actually went through the whole academic regimen and you got yourself through it, and here you are tonight in just a few weeks ready to graduate. But I do have one last question. Have you figured out where the library is?
I hope so.
In any case, it's been 16 years that your mother and I got you into volleyball, and had the opportunity to work with you and your brother. Never a dull day, never had any regrets. It's always just been so rewarding, and I can't tell you how proud I am to know that you've arrived where you are tonight, and excited to see where you're headed next.
So, Gage, normally we would be on the floor with you at the stand, and we would be able to hug you and kiss you and celebrate with you. So in the spirit of senior night, done no better anywhere in the world, we would like to present you with a lei.
So lean forward, Gage, towards the camera, and we'll place it on your neck. There you go.
Aloha, Gage. Congratulations.
This next senior will finish his career undoubtedly as one of the most dominant players in program history. He already ranks in the top 10 in kills and aces, and earlier this season became only the 18th player in school history to eclipse 1,000 career kills. He is a three-time All-American, the Brian Ivy Award winner as the nation's best opposite in 2019, and soon to be two-time Big West Player of the Year. He holds the Big West record with 14 Player of the Week awards. This senior already holds bachelor's degrees in marketing and international business and a certificate in Russian. He will earn his master's in marketing management later this year. He is the Rocket Man himself. Let's hear it for the 6'9" opposite from Sofia, Bulgaria, number 19, Rocket Rado Parapunov.
And Parapunov will go down in the history books as one of the best opposites to ever wear a Hawaii jersey. Hard to replace him, as you can see him doing his iconic trademark dance with Milan that they used to do before coming out of the tunnel. You see the embrace. He calls Milan one of the best coaches in the world and says he attributes a lot of his success because of Milan. But Rado Parapunov, of course, the accolades will continue to come in this season as he continues to be named in as a potential Player of the Year candidate. He will be sorely missed by this Hawaii team.
Хай! Здравей, сине! Благодаря ти, че те има. Благодаря ти за всяко това постижение, с което ме караш да се гордея. Обичам те.
Здравей, Ради! Честит празник! Много се радвам за твоите успехи, много се гордеем с твоите успехи. Чакаме те с нетърпение да си дойдеш и да те прегърнем. И нали знаеш, че ти си най-прекрасният син на света?
Hi, brother. I want to wish you all the best. I want to wish you to never give up on your dreams, and I want you to remember that I'm always here for you, and I always will love you.
Our fifth senior is one of the tallest and most intimidating players in program history. He came to Manoa as a highly touted middle blocker who competed on the United States junior national team. A foot injury derailed his freshman season, but he came back stronger than ever and went on to become the Big West's first three-time All-Conference honoree. This two-time AVCA second-team All-American will finish his career second all-time in block assists and total blocks. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in business. He is the CEO of the Manoa Roofing Company. Let's hear it once more for the 6'10" middle blocker from Clovis, California, number 15, Uncle Pat Gassman.
Patrick Gassman has been a force the entire time that he has been here at the UH Manoa, really evolving that middle position into one of physicality, but also just a really great team player. You hear the way his teammates speak about him. He's referred to as Uncle Pat, of course, his nickname, but you can see as he embraces his coaches that one of the great things about Patrick Gassman is he's just a great guy, a true teammate, and looking at the numbers that he's established over the years, not only an offensive threat, but one of the best blockers in the country. And again, another one of the best players, best middle blockers who ever wear a UH jersey.
When Patrick accepted the offer to play for Hawaii, we felt he was expected to fill the hole in the middle left by Taylor Averill. A skateboard crash delayed the start of that challenge. I tried to cheer him up by telling him, "Look at the bright side, you get to be in Hawaii for 5 years. Well, 5.5 years after that, after injury, the NCAA snub, climbing out of a pandemic, and many Rainbow Warrior wins, we're at the end of the Hawaii chapter. What a great ride. It has been a wonderful educational and volleyball experience. Patrick's mom and I are proud of our student athlete. He is an engineer and may be a professional player. We're proud of the team that has been so athletic, exciting, and successful over these seasons. We've been welcomed by the Island Ohana, the aunties, the boosters. And of course, we thank the coaches and trainers for dealing with this guy. Everyone knows playing for Hawaii is an experience like no other. Having lived it, we will never forget it. Thank you, TV, radio, and print media. You are the best in the nation, and you teach these guys humility by treating student athletes like stars. We also thank everyone working at the stand. You make the matches an absolute event. Again, we thank the coaches who have guided the team to 6 very successful seasons. We thank the incredible Rainbow Warrior teammates and the guy that yells, "Go Bows!" after Hawaii Pono'i. It has been awesome sharing these years with you. Aloha, mahalo.
Our final senior took the long road to the Hawaii volleyball program, joining the team as a walk-on in 2014 from King Kekalike High School in Maui. Through hard work and determination, he worked his way up the lineup to become a second-team AVCA All-American last season. Along the way, he was runner-up in the USAV Collegiate Beach Championships and was the leading attacker on the USA Pan American Cup team. Considered one of the best outside hitters in the country, he has a career .360 hitting percentage. This senior has a degree in economics. He is the pride of the 808, Maui built, and the Haleakala Hammer. Show your aloha for the 6'2" outside hitter from Makawao, Maui, number 24, Colton Cowell.
Colton Cowell, the only local starter for this squad, really carrying that mantle and proudly representing not only his home island of Maui, but the entire state of Hawaii. His is a story that is just truly inspirational, especially for any young athletes out there who may be undersized, who may be told they're too small to play at this level. He is a living example of how you can thrive at this position and compete at the highest level with hard work. He came in, he says, at 145 pounds, not knowing what his role would be, and decided that he wanted to work and earn his spot. And work he did in the weight room, committing himself and transforming himself as a player to becoming one of the best outside hitters in the country this season, and will continue to help this team as they move to the postseason.
Happy senior night, big brother. So proud of you and all your accomplishments. Congrats, senior class. Enjoy what's to come. Let's go, Bows.
Happy senior night, Colt.
We love you.
Colton, we could not be prouder of you. You decided who you were, you set your own tone, you did work. Super proud. Senior night, redo here. Here we go. Glad for the COVID year. Glad for your senior night. Super happy for all of you. Congratulations, seniors. Let's go, Bows.
March 4th, 1997. One of the happiest days in my life. And that's when Colton Cowell was born, my first grandchild. I try not to cry, Colton, I'm sorry. Anyway, honey, I'm so proud of you. And you've done so well. And I'm sure you're going to receive lots of rewards. I love you.
Hey, Colton, how's my sidekick? You're the best one I could possibly have, and I hope the best for you because you're such a pleasure to watch. Love you, boy. Let's go, Bows!
That's why. And how about that? Another outstanding senior ceremony without fans here at Simplify Arena. But there's more. Don't go anyway. We'll come back and we'll salute the senior class of 2021.
Welcome back to the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
Well, the celebration continues after Hawaii downs UC Irvine earlier in 3. Well, now it's time to take a look at the seniors. A salute to them, their video. But don't forget, stick around. We'll have more after this. Enjoy.
17-year-old kid, you'd be pretty dumb not to come and live in Hawaii for your college experience. And at the same time, it's just one of those it was an amazing program, you know, so it was an honor for me to come play for one of the best schools. I felt like I was the glue of the team, you know, just making sure that everything was running smoothly, making sure everyone was ready to go, and just, especially on game days, you know, we're a good team, and it's really easy when things are going good for you for the energy to be high. But making sure that was consistent throughout the entire game, no matter what was going on. The thing I missed the most is being there with the team and being part of it. Even though I didn't have a huge significant role playing, I missed that, just the tickle in your stomach on game days, the traveling, and just being there 100% at practice every day, giving it your all, and working towards something huge, which hopefully we do bring home this year, which is a national championship.
Coming from the Midwest, where it hits like -20 in the winters and like 90 degrees in the summers, and just being told, hey, it's gonna be 75 and sunny every day. It sounded pretty nice. You get to live in a tropical island for 4 years, and you know, it honestly just seemed like too good of an opportunity to pass up. And along with that, so the top tier volleyball is some of the best in the country here, and you know, that made it a pretty easy decision for me. I think for me personally, it's been a really cool experience. I've been able to grow and change in so many ways. When I go back home, my family says my personality's changed so much. I'm a lot more laid back and relaxed about everything, and you know, it's been a really good journey for me. I've grown a lot physically. Before I came here, I never really lifted any weights before, and gotten a lot stronger that way. My volleyball has improved, and I've made a lot of friends, and I couldn't have asked for a better 5 years. The thing that I miss the most is the camaraderie that you get with your teammates. Especially this year, we've been missing out on it, having not been able to go in the locker room at all. The locker room is one of the biggest things here, where you get to really bond with your teammates before and after practice or in between classes. Sometimes guys just go and hang out in there for a couple hours, and you know, we just talk a lot. We really get to know each other there, and I'm really gonna miss being on a team with all these amazing people.
I think what Joe brings to the floor is that, like he said, he keeps everyone on edge in a good way, and he keeps everyone getting their best, right? So there would be times where I needed to kind of take that role when people weren't playing around, or I felt like some people weren't doing what they needed to do, right? So I'd get on them, and in that role kind of, I'm not saying that I'm the disciplinarian on the team by any means, but there are times where I have to be like, hey, like you need to do this, you need to do this, and like the fire, like not just the fun fire after a point, but like the fire of getting on people kind of comes out more when Joe's not here. I guess see it in trickles my sophomore year, and then after that, I had to kind of take more of that kind of role. I've grown an insane amount just because of the speed of the game. I feel like Hawaii does, if not the best of producing and taking your game to the next level, right? With the players they recruit, international, mainland, Hawaii, they find some hidden gems too, which is they surround you with the best talent, right? So that's gonna improve your game. And on top of that, they have the coaching staff to kind of nitpick at the things you need to do. And one thing I like that they do here is that it's not everything is like super complicated, right? People try and overcomplicate stuff. Just keep it simple. Luckily, they recruit the players that they're able to kind of keep it simple with and create that culture. And just the culture and surroundings are just gonna mold you into a better player. I'm gonna miss shredding on my moped. Shredding on my moped with my boys, the Coolidge boys. Shredding on my moped with my team. Sending sandies, playing in the stand, interaction with people, Hawaiian breakfasts, Hawaiian lunches, Hawaiian dinners. Late night T-bell session with the boys. I think I said the beach. The volleyball community here is like none other. Living in paradise. I mean, there's so much, you can go and do whatever you want any day of the week, well, as long as you have free time. The aloha spirit, with school and without school. Travel days. Those are awesome. I love traveling. Along with home matches, don't get me wrong. Wearing board shorts every day. Not bad at all. I like the cold. I like the weather, but I really miss the cold. So this is a 50-50 answer on that one. Off the top of my head, that's what I'm gonna miss the most.
This has been a dream come true, to be able to actually manifest that and now be partaking in the matches that take place here and representing such an amazing community, being Maui, and getting to, just fulfill my dream of playing here and representing the state of Hawaii and just representing an incredible program that is the men's volleyball program. It's just an honor, and I just feel so blessed and so grateful to those that have helped me along the way to get here. This program has made me a man. I came in as a young, teenager, just looking to essentially just make the team and make that roster initially, and that just initial desire to make the roster has now developed into something that I'm just extremely grateful for. This program has taught me the value of integrity, dedication. I still am evolving as a leader through this program. Get just the opportunities that it's given me to prove myself day in and day out as a member of this team and a member of the community. I'm just extremely grateful, and it's taught me to believe in myself. This journey has been a very, very special one.
I decided Hawaii was the place for me after it was narrowed down to Irvine here and UCLA, and I only took my visits to Irvine and here, and how can you not fall in love with this place as soon as you get here? I think I carry a lot more presence now than I did when I was younger. Milan talks about having me as be the anchor, and I can definitely see it. When I'm off my game or in a bad mood or something, it definitely affects the flow of the game, and I can see it in my teammates' faces, the agitation. But when I'm on my game and taking care of business, it definitely feels like the game is going smoother for everyone, I think. I'm gonna miss wearing shorts every day, wearing slippers outside every day. The beautiful weather, seeing a rainbow in the sky just about every day. Definitely the atmosphere that my team brings to the practice and whatnot is it's definitely different from any other team I've been on before. It's just the go getting after it every single day, and knowing that we have this whole state behind us is just gonna I'm gonna miss a lot, that support from the community.
Two things: best place in the world and highest level of volleyball, I think, at the time, out of all my offers. I would say that now I think I'm being the best place. I wish I learned more from those seniors and leaders I had through the years, because I had amazing leaders, and I wish I listened to them more instead of trying to argue and prove my point, because now that I'm in their shoes, in their position, I appreciate it way more, and I wish I didn't take it for granted. The connections I've created 5 years here, not only the teammates, but the people in general, they've been my family, and I think I came in an age that I was still growing, and I am still growing as a person. Unfortunately, I haven't grown physically, but just the connections, the things that we went through, the moments on and off the court are just things that I will cherish forever, knowing that after this season, I'll probably be done in college. Not probably, I'll be done with college, and there's no coming back to being a student athlete. So I'm happy with all I did here, with all the people I've met, and just like I said, I'll cherish them forever. I hope they speak about me more as a person, not as a player. I do believe that is way more important than what kind of player you are. Because I really wish people are happy with me being here and enjoyed what I did. I really hope that they understand how important the Hawaii and Hawaii community is for me, and the fact that I'm giving everything I can and have, and even sometimes even more than that, for them and for just creating Hawaii as the volleyball mecca.
Highlights night 2, Hawaii UCI. We start off with the University of Hawaii's blocking. They were outstanding in 3 sets, 8.5 total team blocks. Guilherme Voss led the way for Hawaii with 6 of those roos. And how about welcome back Chaz Galloway? Missed last night's match due to illness, came back, looked 100%, that's for sure. He had 6 kills, hit 500 on the night, added an ace as well as 3 blocks on the night for the University of Hawaii. But the story tonight was the senior with the left arm out of Bulgaria, Rado Parapunov. He did it from a couple of different places. How about from behind the service line? Rado was terrific, going on long scoring runs, had 5 of the team's 9 service aces. When he wasn't serving it up, he was hitting it cross-border down the line. Rado came away with a team-high 13 kills, hitting .435 as the All-American and possible National Player of the Year celebrates an unbeaten regular season as Hawaii sweeps UCI in 3.
Welcome back to the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
Well, now this one is in the books. Hawaii finishes 15-0 and 10-0 in conference play. So let's look at the Big West Conference scoreboard here on this final Saturday. UC Santa Barbara sweeps UC San Diego as Long Beach State in 3 over CSUN. So the final conference standings look like this. Hawaii at the top, unbeaten at 10-0, followed by UCSB and Long Beach State. Then the bottom 3, UC San Diego, CSUN, and UC Irvine finishes in last. So the tournament, which begins on Thursday, and you can see all the matches live on Spectrum Sports, Hawaii and UC Santa Barbara with a bye. So on Thursday night, you'll see UC Irvine, Long Beach State in one matchup, followed by CSUN and UC San Diego. And Ryan, you look at this tournament, which gets underway in a couple of days, Thursday through Saturday. I think having a bye is a huge advantage.
Yeah, a huge advantage, an opportunity to do some scouting. I mean, all these teams know each other fairly well, but I mean, really, when you look at that play in that quarterfinals, I mean, anyone can beat anyone. It is going to be a battle. A lot of people saying that the Big West Conference could be comparable to a Final Four with the level caliber of teams that are participating in the tournament.
What's it going to take to win it all if you're Hawaii?
I think one of the things that Hawaii has got to be able to do is just play consistently throughout. We've seen how Hawaii can at times have streaky moments, and I think one of the things that they're going to want to do is really get and settle into a more comfortable rhythm. We saw that rhythm, though, tonight. A much different looking Hawaii team than what we saw last night, and I think a lot of that is attributed to Chaz Galloway and the offensive power that he brings, but I also think that Hawaii just had that little fire tonight, obviously wanting to win for their seniors and getting it done efficiently.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this in Game On, how important we thought it was for Hawaii to play well tonight in the final lead up to the conference tournament, and they did play well.
They did. It really was an all-around game for Hawaii, and you look at the numbers, they speak for that. You look at how distributed the offense was. Of course, Rado Parapunov once again leading the way, hitting over 400. He continues to be that go-to player, but they did get support in other areas, and I think that's going to be critical for Hawaii moving forward.
All right, we got the season highlight video coming up, but before that, I want to say thanks, Ryan. I'll see you next week, but thanks again for another outstanding job of regular season men's volleyball. Appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to next weekend. Should be fun.
Yeah, so for Ryan, for James, who's still celebrating on the court, I'm Scott. Stay tuned now. Our tribute to this season.
Parapunov with the hammer. And the one-handed stuff, Yakuptela. Access denied. Set Cowell through the double block. Galloway from the back row. Oh boy. McCauley a second swing, and it is